Radio Hall Recording Company presents an ECRS production, A Night in Dusty Hallows. This is the story of three friends who went on a trip to research for their podcast about historical manor and the abandoned town of Dusty Hallows. There lies a manor of Theodore Williamson, a wealthy gold merchant on the outskirts of this abandoned town. The story goes that the town has seen its glory days back in the mid-19th century, with a gold rush that lasted for 7 years. But all good things come to an end. And for the Williamson family, it was one quiet night in 1856, in which Theodore Williamson's whole family were robbed and killed by a group of thieves inside the manor. Theodore soon went mad and committed suicide.
Alright, finally here.
Wow, this place is huge!
The three friends are standing in front of the sprawling, dilapidated manor. After losing their way nearly 4 times, they had finally found their destination standing in a warm sunset.
Alright, so this is the mansion of John Williamson.
It's Theodore Williamson.
Oh yeah, that's right. That does sound like a wealthy gold merchant's name.
Wow, that's a long walk to the manor.
They see a huge gate behind which lies a long walkway to the manor. The manor is adorned with fallen statues, dead trees, weeds overgrown on the walkways, and almost every structure is enveloped in vines.
How are we getting in? Looks like the gate is locked from the inside.
Why do you think we brought Zach along? Go climb over the wall and open it.
Finally, something fun!
Zach leaps on the nearest wall, wedging his fingers in the smallest of cracks, and appears on the other side in no time. He opens the gate, and the friends make their way towards the manor.
Why was the gate locked from the inside?
I don't know. Oh, look at those gravestones. You must be where the bodies are buried.
Wow. The whole Williamson family, huh?
No, not the whole family. Theodore Williamson hanged himself in the south garden over there. I heard that the body still hangs there.
What? You didn't tell us that.
I don't know. Maybe it's just hearsay. Anyway, we should explore inside the manor first.
Look up there! Fire purifies everything.
Yep, that's the family motto.
What does that mean?
No clue. Let's head inside.
Are you sure you want to do this tonight? We got here pretty late. It's already dark outside.
Why? Are you scared? I thought you wanted to finally come out of your shell.
Hey, cut him some slack. Ryan, why don't you explore outside and take pictures of the gravestones?
Alright, I'll head out, but we should wrap this up pretty quick.
Let me get the flashlights out. Here, grab one.
Wow, take a look at the furniture. It's like we're the first ones to be here after this place was abandoned.
There have been few people here to sell it, but nobody really wants to touch this place. This way. I think there's some children's bedrooms. Take your camera out. You can take some snaps here, and I'll head upstairs to look at the master bedroom.
Scott heads upstairs, realizing Brian was right. If they have to cover the house, they'll need to hurry.
Wow, these are bigger than my apartment. Huh? Scott? Is that you?
Zach, a little scared, checks the picture he's just taken. He sees something blurry in the corner of the room. Convincing himself it must be bad lighting or a smudge on the lens, he moves to the next room. Meanwhile, Scott climbs up a grand flight of wooden stairs covered in red carpet. He finds himself standing in a giant hallway stretching all the way to the master bedroom. Scott walks through the hallway where the old family portraits gaze him down before he comes to the master bedroom.
Huh. Another one locked from inside. What's wrong with this place? Huh.
Scott hears some whispers carried with the breeze escaping the gap in the door. Hesitantly, he presses his ear against the door.
Scott, look what I found!
Damn it, Zach. You scared the crap out of me.
What were you doing?
Nothing. Looks like you got another chance to climb. Door's locked from the inside again.
Climb where? From the window?
That's our only option.
Okay. Hold my camera.
Zach climbs out of the window in the hallway, looking out on the garden. Climbing across the wall, latching on anything he can get his hands on, he makes his way to the window of the master bedroom. Zach grabs the flashlight from his waistband and breaks the window in one swift motion. A gust of wind comes out of the window, swaying the curtains outside, making Zach almost lose his footing. Zach climbs inside quickly and opens the door.
Did you break the window?
Yeah, watch out for the glass.
You weren't supposed to break it.
What else was I supposed to do? I'm not a magician. What the hell is that?
That weird sound? That's what I was trying to hear through the door.
And you decided to get us both in here?
Look what they did to my girls!
Huh?
Suddenly, the door of the room shakes and slams shut, trapping Zach and Scott inside. Books from the shelves start flying across the room. Furniture starts shaking and sliding across everywhere. One could feel the years of anger and loss trapped inside that one room.
Scott, the window!
An old cabinet slides in front of the window, blocking their only way out. Zach and Scott desperately wave their flashlights across the room, trying to make sense of what they've gotten themselves into. The only thing they could do is yell for help.
Help! Brian!
What's happening? We're locked up.
Help!
Meanwhile, Brian is walking to the south garden while taking pictures of statues and architecture in the moonlight. Gathering his courage, he enters the dense vegetation of the south garden. Brian's flashlight could barely reach 6 feet ahead of him before getting blocked by wild weeds stretching all the way up to his waist. He was making his way in by swinging his guiding stick like a scythe. Suddenly, he felt something brushing across his shoulder. His face turns white. He turns around and looks up, almost wishing it is just a vine. And there he is, standing under the hanging corpse of Theodore Williamson. Brian drops to the ground, trying to scream, but no sound comes out, as if his entire being had forgotten how to function. His heart is beating out of his chest. He's breathing heavily. His mouth turns dry and wide open in shock. Gathering his courage, he shines the flashlight on the corpse. The corpse is decayed with dry skin sticking to the bones. The clothes, which were once white, are brown, tattered, and frail. While trying to cope with what he has seen, Brian hears a distant commotion coming from the manor. Brian quickly springs up and sprints in the direction of the manor. He glances upon the manor, which has taken a completely different form. Brian could hear furniture slamming into each other, glass shattering as if they've angered the manor by their presence. Brian heads to the large front door and tries to open it.
I told you guys we shouldn't be here, but no! Who listens to Brian?
Brian shouts as he pulls on the door. The door is locked from the inside again. The screams of his friends are dissolved in all the commotion he could hear inside. Brian, on the verge of crying, drops to the ground on his knees.
Father, is that you? When are you coming back to us, Father?
Brian looks up. He sees a blurry white image beaming through the window of the children's bedroom.
What the?
Brian is in utter shock, but he knows he needs to do something quick. His mind starts racing, trying to think of a way to resolve this mess.
Fire purifies everything. That's it.
Brian looks up at the golden letters above the front door, but this time he has a certain determination in his eyes. He sprints to the car, grabs the emergency gas can from the trunk. He runs in the direction of the south garden with a plan in mind. He makes his way back to the tree on the same path he had already taken. Almost avoiding looking at the body, Brian climbs up the tree. He takes his knife out. Lying on the branch, he begins to cut the rope that the body is hanging from. His hands are shaking. His legs barely have any strength to hold on to the tree, as they seem half frozen by fear and shock. Brian finally cuts the rope and the skeleton hits the ground. Lying on the branch, Brian looks down as the corpse of Theodore Williamson staring back at him. Brian climbs down the tree, lifts the corpse and puts it on his shoulder. He picks up the gas can with his left hand, which seems heavier than the withered body on his right shoulder. Brian starts running towards the manor. The rattling of bones sends shivers down his spine.
Fire purifies everything. Fire purifies everything.
Brian is incoherently mumbling under his breath to keep himself distracted from the insistent rattle of the bones. Finally, he comes to the steps of the manor and puts the corpse in front of the door.
Here's your father. Your husband. Is this what you want?
Brian screams at the manor. The commotion still hasn't stopped, but the screams of his friends are no longer there. Brian uncaps the gas can and douses the corpse in gasoline and pulls out a lighter. Still shaking, he manages to ignite the lighter. Stepping back, he sets the corpse ablaze. The corpse catches fire with an orange and blue flame. The commotion in the manor suddenly stops. Brian sees the blurry white image escape through fire, meeting the other three ones escaping the manor, becoming one. Brian drops down to his knees, looking up at the sky. Suddenly, Scott and Zach come running out the front door.
Brian, we gotta get out of this place.
Are you alright? What is this?
Scott and Zach see the burning body and Brian collapsed on his knees next to it. Both grab Brian by the shoulder and help him up. Brian is still looking up at the sky.
You're not gonna believe. There was the noise, then we were locked, the furniture, everything was flying, and then everything stopped. Did you do something to get us out?
Yeah, fire purifies everything. That was it.
What?
I'll tell you on the way home.